promised someone that we would dig into, I think it was Kenny, actually, double quotes versus single quotes. Was that you? Yeah. So in JavaScript, it makes no difference. The only difference in the world is if I say don't you cuss at me, uh-oh, apostrophe in there inside a single quoted string, I have to escape that with a backslash. If it's a double quoted string, I don't have to do that. But don't you yell, quote, cuss at me, uh-oh, big trouble. Got to escape it. So which character you have to escape is the only difference between double and single quotes. In JavaScript, just be consistent. Don't mix and match in the same file or the same project, really. Just because the inconsistency makes it a little confusing to read. And probably if you join a team at an employer, they're going to have a house style. They're going to use one or the other all the time. So do whatever they do because it really makes no difference. I think single quotes are a little more common in the JavaScript community overall. So I generally use single quotes in JavaScript. Double quotes on attributes in HTML, though again, it doesn't actually make any difference. Yeah?
What about semicolons at the end of
Semicolons, did I not talk about that yesterday? I talked about it in the morning, not the afternoon. So semicolons at the end of statements. It has always been optional in JavaScript. They call the feature ASI, automatic semicolon insertion. I don't know that it's technically inserting semicolons so much as it just recognizes the end of statement at the end of a line most of the time. So it's always been optional. There are a few places where if you don't put them, it won't do what you expect. But in most of those cases, there's probably a better way to write it anyway. So the issue historically has been when it comes to minification. Anybody heard that word before? So sometimes when you're done with your code, you'll run it through some sort of build system that minifies it, takes out all the white space, makes every variable name as short as it can possibly be, basically makes the file as small as possible before it's ready to send to the browser just to save bandwidth. Because sometimes it can be an enormous savings. Takes out all the comments and everything like that too. And when that happens, if you don't have semicolons, it's going to screw it up. At least it used to. These days, in the ES6 world, the build tools all do a good job and parse it the way that the JavaScript interpreter parses it. So it's no longer even necessary to use semicolons for the sake of safe minification. Whether you do or don't use them, again, is pretty much a house style, like at your employer. This is the first year that we've ever taught this where we didn't use semicolons, but since we're doing ES6 all the time, and we're using React, and I think in React without semicolons is a little more common, you still see both. But we're just deciding we're going semicolon free this year because you don't really need them anymore. But yeah, you totally can use them. In which case, what lines here wouldn't you put them after? Well, you wouldn't put it after this one, you wouldn't put it after this one. All the others you would. Everything else is a statement. Function declaration isn't a statement. An if isn't a statement. You wouldn't put a semicolon at the end of the curly brace on an if. What if we actually made the function a variable, like const do the thing? Would we put one there or not? Yes, because it's not a function declaration anymore. It's an assignment, right? We're assigning a variable. The variable happens to be a function, but there should be a semicolon there. But we're not putting them anywhere, so yeah, good question. Just not worrying about it. It's double quotes versus single quotes. Semicolons versus no semicolons. Don't pick a fight over it. It's not worth it because it really doesn't matter.